Yeah, please just tell them we're passing the sheet around. Please fill in the sheet. Your name, how many people are coming, T-shirts, no, I don't hear that. T-shirt sizes. Okay, write it down. And if you can make something, for the, you can make a T-shirt. Yeah. Adults can also.
Okay, today's Daf Kuf Ches. We actually got into Kuf Ches on the top. I'm just going to review real quickly the Sugya. There's a Mishnah in Shkolm that says that there's 13 shofros. We're discussing 6 out of the 13. What do the 6 shofros represent? The 6 pushkas. So we have the Shita of Chizkiah that it's for this. So there shouldn't be any fighting between the Batei Avos of the Kohanim. Within each Mishmar, within the 24 Mishmars, there's 6 Batei Avos, and each one got a day. So there'd be some infighting. If people used the pushka for their Ketz HaMizbeach and the other Mishmar didn't use. What was the pshat? We saw in Rashi that even if one Mishmar had a lot of animals, a lot of people came to donate animals and they had a lot of hide, they would be upset that the other Mishmar, which didn't have a lot of animals, used the Ketz HaMizbeach. Rabbi Schoenberg came over to me after the shir. He told me a pshat, and I only caught on to what he was saying a couple hours later. I think it explains a little bit what's going on here. He said that in Yerusha you also have this problem. Somebody dies, and he has a child that has a lot of money, and a child that doesn't have that much money, and he leaves his money, let's say, for one of the children. And so there's a lot of fighting that goes on because of Yerushas. And what happens is this kind of svara. A person says, yes, I'm very wealthy, but what is mine is mine. Don't take away what's mine. That's the svara here. It's mine. You don't count my money. It's my Yerusha also. I want it.
I work for this money.
I didn't work. Yeah, it's mine. No? It's my father. It's mine. Oh, you didn't. Because of the father. Yeah. So over here also, it's my pushka. It's my pushka. Just like it's your pushka, it's my pushka. You're right. Rashi says he's talking about human behavior. These kohanim, even Rashi dibra maskil kadesh yelem shalom zemzeh. The way I understood Rashi is that Rashi says shiviyu chidim b'mishmor shalonu mishum mazaleinu. The person, even if one Beisav has a lot of animals that day, they're still going to be upset that the other Beisav that didn't have a lot of animals, and their total of hides might be less than the one that is upset. Why are they upset? Because they took from the pushka, and the pushka is also ours. Let's divide the pushka evenly. Why are you taking what belongs to me? What do you care how much I made? At the end of the day, you're taking from my pushka. Then, okay, so that's who was that? That was the first. Yeah, Chizkiah. Thank you. Rabbi Yochanan says the reason why we have 6 pushkas is because the money could go bad. It literally could mold, it could rust, so you need 6 pushkas. Ziri says a different thing. Ziri says that we're talking about where you give, each person comes to Beis HaMikdash, instead of bringing an animal, they bring money. So, and we go according to Rebbe that you cannot, if somebody brought a lot of an animal that's worth a lot of money, and the kohen goes and donates with his money a smaller animal, he won't be yotzei. The big issue that we had yesterday, my chavrus and I, is what do you do with smicha? If a person comes and donates money and he puts it in the pushkin, the kohen does it for him, where's the guy's smicha? So today I found that in a chanami, it's not talking about personal karbanos, it's only talking about somebody who wants to donate a community carbon, and he donates a cow for the community, he donates a keves for the community. So according to Rebbe, if you donated a keves for the community, you cannot take that keves and turn it into a cow. You can't take the cow and turn it into a keves. That's why you have 6 different shofars. Not the carbon tzibur, not the chiyuv for the carbon tzibur, the nidvas carbon tzibur. I don't know. I don't know. But that's the oila, right? So maybe that oila, the oila that goes in the Ketz HaMizbeach. Yeah. I think we were kind of mechavan to that yesterday, but I saw it Mefurish today. It says Mefurish, don't bring, it's not for a korban yochel, because then there'll be a chesar of smicha. It's a big kasha. How can I put $100 in a pushka and rely on the kohen to take care of it for me? I got to be there and put my hands on it. If I'm chatas for sure not, but we're talking about an oil or whatever it is. Okay.
Say that he puts the money in the pushka,
Yeah.
and the client or whoever's in charge of the animal gives him an animal from the pen.
No, because that would be like going to the desk. They had a desk over there. You got a ticket. That's another way of doing it. The pushka is for long term, for weeks.
Can't be linked to the desk.
I don't think so. Pushka, who empties out a pushka every day? You put the money in there. Look, he says e-push. We'll worry about mold. It's not something that you open and you go to the desk and you get a ticket for your carbon. Okay. Now we have another pshat, and this is where we're holding today. We spoke about it yesterday. But Pada says that for the pushkas were for 4 types of animals, different animals, a asham, a mitzayra, etc. And the 5th one was for the moisrois. If you brought an animal and the price, when you donated money for an animal, the price went down. So now you have leftover money. You put it in the 5th pushka. V'hama is by the machzah shekel. They always added a little bit more so that you make sure that you have exactly a machzah shekel. Hi, Moshe Ehrenfeld. Got a message that Ehrenfeld is in Madrid. He says hello. Shalom Aleichem. Shkoyach for watching. I didn't know he was there. You see, yesterday he was hiding over there in the corner. You never know with him. Akoponim. So, what's the ma? A ma is, you have to bring a machzah shekel. Now, what if the coin is slightly smaller? It's like a gram less than a machzah shekel. You're not young. So you bring a little ma. Now, what Rashi explains, and I didn't explain yesterday, Rabbi Schoenberg spoke about it a little bit. This is what I meant to say, is that the big problem is, if you're bringing a shekel with a machzah, with a little bit of you bring a machzah shekel with a ma, so that you put in the pushka of the machzah shekel. So what's this new pushka for? This new pushka is for if you have shutfim, and the shutfim come and they really only need 1 ma for their 2 machzah shekels, because we're only worried about a tiny little amount, so that 1 ma will cover them. So, but we made it takana that they should bring 2 mas. So it's really extra. That's more than necessary, and you're not allowed to bring more than necessary. So you put that into the special pushka. Now, Mr. Kornbluth yesterday said that he remembers seeing that that little ma went to the money changer. So I asked the Talmud Chacham that knows Kol HaTorah Kula, and he says there's no such thing anywhere. But I did find a Yerushalmi that says exactly this thing, and that's what there's a Mishnah in Yerushalmi Shkolim.
That's what he's talking about.
Perik Aleph, Halacha Dalet. It says, "Benazei Oimer Shulchanim Hayunoiton Oisam B'Scharon." Here. Now we know that he's a Baki Yerushalmi also. Let's take one look. More. All right. So now this is where we're holding Daf Kuf Ches on Dalef on the top. Wow, that took a long time. Kulu Kechizkiel Yamri. How come they don't? Everybody, why didn't everybody use his svara that there shouldn't be any fighting between the Bati Avos? We're not worried that people will fight. They call chad v'chad yomi ka'avid. At the end of the day, they have no claim to the pushka of the other guy. Each base av got a full day. Whatever comes in, any income that comes in, whether it's from the pushka or from individuals, it's all their income. So they're not going to start fighting. Oh, we want pushka, we not. It's one collective income. Sometimes you get it from the pushka, sometimes you get it from the individuals. That's it. Nobody's going to fight about something that happened another day. They pool it. Sometimes they sometimes they don't. Sometimes you make enough money from your salary that you don't need tips. Sometimes you only work off the tips. But it's not like, hey, the tips are mine, the tips are yours. It's whatever comes in that day. Rabbi Yochanan says we're worried that the reason why you have 6 because the money could get ruined. We're not worried about that. Ziri says that a person donated the money for the carbon, we said tzibur, and if you did a large one, you can't buy a small one that only goes according to Rebbe. So according to Rebbe, it's a problem. That to say that the pushkas were there because of Adas Yachad of Rebbe, that doesn't make sense. Bar Pada said there's 4 shofars for the Kfasim Sirim, and the 5th one was some Moisrois. Kulinami Moisrois. Why do you need a 5th one for the extra? If you have any extra, put it into whatever carbon you have extra. So if you brought a shlamim, whatever, a oila, and you had extra money, put it into the oila pushka of the original 4. Why do you need a special pushka called moisrois? Manami l'shkolam azlo. Why do you need a special pushka? For that little coin that you bring with the machzah shekel, just put it in the machzah shekel pushka, which is one of the 13. The Sanya Leichan Kalboin Zoilach. The Shkolim. Where do you put that little ma? In the Shkolim Pushka. The Divi Remeir, Rebbe Lezoimer, Linadava. It goes in another Pushka, but you don't need its own Pushka. Now, another Shita. And this is the Shita we had in the other Sugya a few days ago. Shmuel Amar, Keneged Moiser Chatos, Moiser Rosham. There's 6 Pushkas. One is for the leftover for the Chatos. If you have any money, the price went down for your Chatos, put the extra money in the Chatos Pushka. Moiser Rosham, Moiser Hasham Nazir, Moiser Hasham Mitzoyer. Each one is different than the other. Either they're different age group, or they have a different Chumrah, a Mitzoyer, he needs to start over, a Nazir starts over, or letting him come back into the community. Each thing has a different chumrah, so it needs a different pushka. Umoisar shamet soyer, umoisar minchas choyte, left over from the mincha v'choyte. Umoisar asir seifa shel kohen gadol. So this 6th one, umoisar asir seifa shel kohen gadol, is what Rabbi Yosha is going to be mechulek on. Rabbi Yosha Amar, the same exact thing. And here is the only difference. If you bring birds and you have leftover birds, you have a special pushka just for that. How come Shmuel doesn't say like Rabbi Yosha? Why doesn't he talk about kinim? He only talks about kohen gadol. Says the Gemara, kinim tanalei reisha. We're talking about the 6 shofars, but there's 7 other shofars over there that are discussed in the Mishnah. One of them is for the birds, so you put the extra of the birds in the bird. Says the Gemara, if that's the case, he says that Mishnah with the 13 shofars, and he doesn't say kinim. But Rabbi Yosha does mention the Mishnah, and he mentions kinim. So why do I need another shofar? Yes, he mentions kinim. There's a pushka for birds, but there's also a pushka for the extra money that you have from birds. You need 2 pushkas according to him. They did. If you wanted to be there and you want to watch it, then you went to the desk. You could buy birds by the desk. If you just want in and out, drive through, you put your money in and goodbye.
You're talking about birds as a woman who's
yeah, no, I think that's what it says. What kind of birds? Birds for Matzaira, but doesn't he have to be there? Matzaira has to get sprayed by the blood. Rabbi Yosha, my time Shmuel, how come he doesn't mention the Minchas Kohen Gadol? Savala command Omar Moses shel Asir Seif shel Kohen Gadol Yirkav. He holds that if you have any leftover money or whatever it is, you let it go to waste. The money you throw into the Yam HaMelech, you don't use it. The Sanya, Moisar Minchas Nedava, Moisar Mincha Yirkav. A very interesting brisa. It doesn't make any sense. It says Moisar Minchas Nedava, it's missing at least one word here. And then it says Moisar Mincha Yirkav. It's almost a contradiction. The leftover mincha is a nedava. The leftover mincha is you let it be destroyed. My Amar, what's going on here? Amar Amar. Moisar minchas choyte nedava. You have to stick in the word choyte. It's talking about the mincha of a choyte that anything left over is a nedava. Moisar asir seifa shel kohen gadol yirkav. So now he sticks in asir seifa. So he brings a right from the brisa that it's talking about a kohen gadol's asir seifa, and it gets destroyed. I have a beautiful right from the brisa that a minchas kohen gadol is destroyed. That's if you could stick in those words. What if I stick in other words? Rabba Omar filu moisar asir seifa shel kohen gadol nami nedava. So what does it say at the end? Ela moisar lach mitoida yirkav. It's talking about a lach mitoida. And just anything that's a moisar, we're going to see that in order for something to become an adava, it has to be left over of a chatos. Says the Gemara beplukta. This Rav Chisda Rabba is a machloikis. Moisar asir seifa shekoin gadol Rabbi Yochanan ben adava. Rabbi Elazar Amar yirkav. So we have a machloikis. What do you do with the leftover of the kohen gadol's carbon? Rabbi Yochanan says it's adava. Rabbi Elazar says you destroy it. You let it just rot. Meisvei. Moisar shkolim chulan. What does that mean? If a person has leftover shkolim in his house, in other words, he's getting ready for this machzah shekel, and he keeps on putting money into his own little pushka at home, and he comes to Beis Hamikdash, he realizes he has extra. What does he do with the extra? The extra is not kadosh. The extra is chulan. Umoisar asir seifa. This is also like a riddle. What does umoisar asir seifa mean? So the Gemara wants to say asir seifa l'chayr means the kohen gadol is asir seifa. What else could it be? Umoisar kinei zavim, ukinei zavos, ukinei yoldos v'chatois v'ashamois moisreim nedava. So over here it says mufurish that the asir seifa of the kohen gadol doesn't say mamish kohen gadol. It just says asir seifa. It goes nedava and it doesn't go to waste. My love, moisar asir seifa kohen gadol. Loi moisar minchas choytei. It's not called a sir seifa, but it is a sir seifa. It's made from a sir seifa. And it makes sense. Why? Because a minchas choyte is a chatos. And a chatos goes to nedava. A minchas kohen gadol is not a chatos. But it doesn't, a chatos is a chatos. This is a mincha of a chatos. This is flour. It's a different thing. It makes a lot of sense that the kohen gadol should be wasted and not go to nedava. The Sanya, it says in the pasuk by minchas choyte lo yasim aleh shemen v'leitin aleh levayna. When a choyte brings a mincha, you don't put oil, you don't put levayna, you don't make it nice. Why? Ki chatos he. It is a chatos, but not something else. Omer Yehuda he kruya chatos, v'nacheres kruya chatos, limit asir seif shekohen gadol she'eino kruya chatos. So therefore, kohen gadol's asir seifa tuna levayna because it's not a chatos. U'b'de'eino kruya chatos moisra yirkav. The only thing that the leftover is in a dava is a regular chatos. But since the kohen gadol's asir seifa is not a chatos, it's just called a chatos, so memela, the leftover is spoiled and it doesn't go as an adava. Says the Mishnah. Now, we know there's a big difference between a neder and an adava. What's the difference? If a person says that we spoke about it yesterday, right? This particular animal should be my carbon, zeh. So that's an adava. And what's the difference? If something happens to it, that's not my problem. So what do I do with it if something happens to it? I sell it and the money goes to Hegdish. But what do I do with the money? Do I have to bring the exact same thing that the money came from? No, l'chayr not. I said I'm bringing this carbon. It's a nice fat ox, the most expensive, 100 mana, 100 dinner, whatever it costs. And now I take now it has a mum, I sell it for 50. And I could buy a sheep with it, a goat with it. I don't have to buy a para. Says the Mishnah, Shor zeh oila v'nistoy v'gara b'mum imrotza yavi b'dam of shnayim. Now, even though two animals might be less than one, it's not a problem. Why? Because, as the Gemara is going to explain, he said zeh, and zeh is dafka this, it's in a dam. Shnei shvarim.
It's the same idea.
No, I think it has to be the same. I would say it has to be the same. Within the same. The kedusha is.
Surely the kedusha is mom at this stage.
Yeah.
And therefore put the bedek about it. Why doesn't he have to?
That's exactly what he's asking. I don't know. We have to do more chazara. We have to learn more of what you're saying. Know the answers to these things. What? You're saying it goes to Bedek Kabayis. Everybody holds that it could go to Bedek Kabayis. Find out. The Chayra, yeah?
No, it can't.
He says not. Me and Reuven say not. Okay. Says that you have to buy a carbon. Just what type? You bring two. You could bring this. Shnei shvarim elu oila v'nistavu. Another case, he donated two, and it became a balmum. Rotza yavid meim echad v'Rebbe oiser. So now the Gemara is going to discuss: is Rebbe mechulik only on this case? L'chayr not. L'chayr is mechulik on all the cases. He just talks about it over here on the second case. Rebbe says it's osur, but what does it mean that it's osur? What if I went ahead and I did it anyways? It would be chal. Because at the end of the day, I'm not mechuyev to bring something specific. Rabbi just says, l'chatrila, go bring something that's similar. But since it's in a dava, and I already, all the kedusha went to the money, then I should be yaitze b'diavad. Ayil zeh oila v'nistayev. I brought a ram, less than a cow, a ram. Imrotza yavi b'dom of keves. I could go down even to a keves. I was going back and forth whether it means the keves is actually worth less or it's worth the same. Because we were saying the keves is worth less. That's what we learned yesterday in the Mishnah. But what kind of right does he have to bring something that's worth less?
Because you got a mum.
Right, I think it's worth less.
It's worth less, but whatever money you have now. I saw that it said that it has to be worth the same. I don't know, but I'm asking to you. L'chayr from the end of the Gemara, it's mashma. It's worth less. Kev and the Gemara brings a raya from this that it's worth less. What?
This talking about like whether the base of Mikdash is you've given it already to Mikdash and therefore
You donated it, so it has kedusha in the money. So you have to bring.
Whose is it right now? It seems like it's yours still because
You have a chiyuv. It's not yours. It's the base of Mikdash, but you have a chiyuv and you have to fulfill your obligation. How do you fulfill your obligation? By buying something that's similar to what you were menadiv. Keveze oila v'nistoiv. Now the reverse case. You go to the lowest one. You had the cheapest animal, and it befell a mum. Imrotza yavi b'dom of ayil. If you want, you go even higher up. The Rebbe Oyser, that's Rebbe that says, even from a cotton to a gadol, you're not allowed to. It has to be exactly the same that you're menadiv kufches on the base.
What's the difference between the Torah and the Raisa?
There's no difference. We're going to see that if you hold that you can't go from big to small, from small to big, then certainly you can't go to ayil. Right. Right. There's no chiddush. He waited until there, and we're going to see in the Gemara. That's why I said in the Reish also, you have the same thing. Rebbe is only mechulik on the second case in both times. He waits until you have both cases, then he's mechulik. Says the Gemara, v'amris reisha, meaning the other mission that we had yesterday, shar b'mana ve'vi shnai b'mana lo yatsa. If a person donates one cow worth 100, and he brought two that's worth 100 lo yatsa. Shar zeh v'nistoyev shani. Says the Gemara, like we explained, our mission is different because he said the word zeh. Zeh turns it into an adava. And adava means dafka this shar, and once this shar has a mum, I'm not responsible for it anymore. And I can buy whatever I want. But in that Mishnah, he said in general, harei alai shar b'mana. So now I owe a shar namana, so I have no right to buy two b'mana, because one b'mana is worth. It's a different type of animal than two b'mana. Shnei shvarim elu oilav v'nistavu. What was the case? He had two oxen. He said these, and they had a mum. If he wants, he can bring one. My time. That's the halach that we learned. If you go, you certainly can't go from a large one to a small one, according to Rebbe. And even though it had a mum, so that's the halacha. He holds his halacha through and through. Even in a case where it turns into money, he says, but don't. In a case where you don't turn it into money, of course you can't go from a large to a small, according to Rebbe. You can't go from a large to small. You can't go from a small to a large, even according to Rebbe. But even in a case where it turned into money, it had a mum, and you redeemed it, and now you have money in your hand. Says Rebbe, you shouldn't go from a large to a small. So how come Rebbe was quiet in the first case of the Mishnah? It should say, and Rebbe says no, you shouldn't. How come he waited until the second case? If you have two oxen, if he wants to bring, you can bring one, and then Rebbe says no, you shouldn't bring one. Says the Gemara, Rebbe Akula Milsapalik. No, Rebbe is talking about the ratio also. He's very polite. He waited until Rabbanan finished saying what they had to say. And then he's mechulik on them. Teida, and I'll prove it to you. The second part of the Mishnah. Ayol is more expensive than a keves. Rotza yavi b'dam of keves. So the ratio says, the ratio of the sefer says that you can bring, instead of a ram, you bring a sheep. Keves eloi lo v'nistav rotza yavi b'dam of ayol. V'Rebbe yoiser. So Rebbe says, even in the case when you're going from small to big, you're bringing more than you promised. You promised a sheep, and you bought a ram, which is more expensive. Even on that, Rebbe is mechulik. So certainly he's going to be mechulik on the first case which is going from a ram to a sheep, but he's just quiet until Chachamim finished. Fine. Zog the Gemara, Iboilu. What's the halacha memina lemina mai? So we said that you could go from a large animal to a small animal. Could you go from one type of animal to another type of animal? Could you go from a cow to a goat? Tashma shorze oilo v'nistoev loyavi b'dom of ayil. It says in the Brayso, if a person said, I'm bringing this ox, and had a mum, he shouldn't bring a ram. It's too small. Right? We said yesterday that a ram cost 25% of a cow, right? So if the cow had a mum, don't bring something that's worth 25% of it. It's not that's not fair. But maybe b'dom of shnei elam, 50%. Okay, that I could get. Then I'll agree. Rebbe Yoiser lefi shein bila. Comes Rebbe and says no. Even 2 rams is also. Why? Because how is he going to bring these rams to the Beis Hamikdash? He's going to bring a ram, and each ram needs a mincha. So he's bringing 2 kalim. And people are going to say that he's bringing 2 kalim to Beis Hamikdash. They're going to say this is different than what he promised. He promised 1 cow with 1 kli, and he's coming with 2 kalim. So 2 kalim is no good.
Why does Rabbi have to come up to this amount? Rabbi says the whole time that you can't change.
Ooh. Saying stamazoi, there should be another problem of changing. Even though this is b'di'eved, but if you're talking about b'di'eved, so you already brought the 2 kalim. That's what he's asking. If it's b'di'eved, it's b'di'eved or b'di'eved. A double b'di'eved, that doesn't work.
It's gonna work.
It would work b'di'eved, but why is he saying that?
Same thing.
Akopanim shmamino. What do you see from here in the Brayso? The Brayso says something else. Maybe the Brayso doesn't hold that. I don't know. That doesn't make sense. Shmamino, that what? That you could bring another min. The whole problem with the second min, even according to Rebbe, is that it has two kalim. But it's not a problem that it's a ram instead of a cow. You could bring a ram instead of a cow. If you're allowed to bring another min, my tray. So then why does it say that you bring 2? Afilu chad nami. What's the difference between 1 and 2? You're telling me that 1 is not worth so much, 2 is worth more. Afilu chad nami davunistav l'rabbanon. If it has a mum, according to Rabbanon, leishon elu ben gadol lekatan. It says in our Mishnah Mefurish that you could go from a ram to a sheep, meaning you could go downwards in value. So then why can't you go from a cow to 1 ram? Why do you need 2 rams? Says the Gemara, Treitanoi, Valib the Rabbanon. I did one of these. Stop. Literally, I'm not exaggerating. At 7:01, I started typing. So this is what came out at 7:01. That's why this is in one box, not across. No hours today on this. According to Rabbanan in the Mishnah, if a person donated a shar, the most expensive thing, I'm giving the example, shar to ayil. This is what we're talking about now. He said a shar, and he went to ayil. So according to Rabbanan in the Mishnah, he could bring even 1 ayil. The Rabbanan in the Mishnah say, there's no high and low. You go to the lowest. It doesn't matter what you bring. Once it has a mum, it's your money, you do whatever you want with it. Bring 1 ayil. The Rabbanon of the Brisa, that's what we just said, are mechulik. Shreitanoi aliba the Rabbanon. It's a machlokes in Rabbanon what they say. They say no. You have to bring 2 elim. There's actually a limit. You could be a chazer, but not that much. So you brought a cow, now don't tafasta merubah tafasta. 2 elim. 2 elim. Fine. It's not really, but according to Rebbe in the Mishnah, if a person donates a shar, the only way out of it is a shar, lechatchila. But they have it okay. And according to Rebbe in the Brisa, you can bring any animal you want, as long as it's 1. Do not bring 2, bring 1.
Why?
That's what he was saying. Because what?
Because of the mincha.
What do you mean? Oh, because of bila. Yeah, very good. 1 bila echad. So you have to be bila. So bila is a big thing here. So that answers Mendy's kasha. That answers the kasha. That it's a what? No, it's another reason Rebbe is saying. Rebbe is saying in addition to what I said, that you can't go from gadol to katan, there's another problem of bila. So even if I get away with the problem of katan to gadol, because we're talking about there's a mum, but I have a problem with bila. You're not allowed to come out of your house looking different than your original donation. Your original donation is 1. Now you're going with 2. That's not good. Again with Rashi. Okay, today I'm doing Rashi's. Every Rashi. I thought I did all Rashi's. Hi. Zog the Gemara. Rabbi Yosef Levishain Bilot. What are you saying? Taimod ein bilo. Hayesh bilo shari. If I had a situation where it was the same amount of menachos, then it's okay. But I have a kash on that. Vasnan ayel zeoila v'nistoiv rotzi avi b'dam keves. I could go from a ram to a sheep. Keves zeoila v'nistoiv yavi b'dam of ayel v'Rebbe Yosef. So what do you see? Even though the ayel and the keves have the same mincha, Rebbe says it's aser. Why is it aser? It's one bila. Nobody's going to make any mistakes here. He donated a ram, which requires one mincha, and he's bringing a keves that requires one mincha. Everybody's going to see him walking out of his house with one. What's the problem? So it says Gemara, Tretanoi, Aliba, the Rebbe. Tretanoi, Aliba, the Rebbe. Ubit the Hirim. The continuation of the Brayso says that if you have an animal without a mum, Egel v'hevi par, keves v'hevi ayol, yotza. You could go from the lower one to more, to a bigger one, stomach Rabbanon, it goes according to Rabbanon, not according to Rebbe, because according to Rebbe, this would also be a problem. Even going from a cheaper animal to a more expensive animal is awesome. Has to be the same. Rotzi yavi b'dam shnai. Omer Rav Menachos v'ez v'dam Rav Lishon v'dam shor ze oila. He says this acts as oila. Omar shor ze olai oila. He's stuck in the word olai. Now he made it a personal obligation. Hukba. Now he has responsibility for this animal. Ask the Gemara, V'dilma olai la v'yakamar. Maybe he just meant, not that I am going to replace it, I have a certain achrayis. I'm going to bring this animal, I'm going to make sure I bring it. But if something happens, I'm not going to institute another animal instead of it. Elo itmar, hochi itmar. Omer Rav, you're right. Omer Rav, v'dom Rav, lo yishanu l'dom shor ze oila, inam yom shor ze olai oila. There's no achrayis at all. If he said even the money is going to become my responsibility, hukba, then it becomes his responsibility to replace it exactly the way it is. Says the Mishnah, a person has two animals, let's say, and he says one of them is hegdish. Which one does he bring? Obviously he's not going to bring both because he only said one of them. Does he bring the nicer one or the lesser one? Because a person, there's a pasuk, Mifchan Nidreichem, Rashi brings, that you always bring, a person brings the nicer, whatever is the nicest, that's what he brings.
He said echad ve'echad?
No, it's two cases. Two cases. I have two sheep, echad, one of them is Kadosh. He obviously meant the nicer one because that's what a person is going to do. Now, what do you do with shloisha? Person has three. L'chayra, you would say that again. The nicest one. Says the Mishnah, no. Beinoni shebem hegdish. So the Gemara is going to explain, it doesn't mean no. It means even the middle one. Two. Now he's stuck with two. Who is right? Pirashti v'eni yidei pirashti. Again, it goes back to the same yisoid. You have to remember what you say. Pirashti v'eni yidei pirashti. Now, similar case. He just doesn't remember what he said. Oy shomer li abo v'eni yidei my father told me. Hagodesh shebem hegdish. Again, always we have to assume that the person, even the person that died, meant that the better one is Hagdish. Alma Magdish ba'in Yofa Magdish. From the Reish it seems, since you take the best one, that's because a person gives the best. Ema Seifas, how do you explain the Seifa? Beinin Shem Hagdish. It says that you only give the middle one. Alma Magdish ba'in Ra Magdish. It doesn't mean only the Beinoni. Of course you have to give the best one, but also the middle one. Because it is better than the least.
So what? He said one. He said one.
No, he said the better one.
He said echad.
Right. And we don't know. Now we don't know.
Maybe
But we don't know.
Maybe one.
Not
the ichi.
No, but what if he meant the middle one? Then the middle was Kedusha.
The bad one.
We don't know what he
He
meant.
says in your there.
Yeah.
What's he say?
Of course he's any of that. If he says what he knows, then there's no Mishnah. He doesn't know. He just said a word.
He said Agodel Shabohen. Give me the middle one from the bad, from the worst.
Says the Gemara at the end of the day, Heichi Ovid. How could I redeem one of them? How could I get? Obviously, I only meant one. How could I get my other one back? You have to wait until it falls a mum. And then According to Rashi, you literally take that money, you take it and you put the Kedusha onto the one that you're going to give to the Mizbeach anyways. According to the Rambam, it happens by itself. It's an automatic. Where? Yeah, Umachle Kedusha Bagadol. He takes the money from the mum, the middle one, and he puts it on. He puts the Kedusha onto the big one, onto the number one that he's going to bring anyways to the Mizbeach. At the end of the day, he gives one. He's just machil. He redeems the money. He does like he says, if there's kedusha in this money, it's going to be on this big animal. Then he brings the big animal to the mizbeach anyways, which he was going to do.
Even in the first case, he brings only one. Even
What do you mean for Shmuel? There's only
before Chedra, even for Shmuel. Chayshish, also for the Benaini, you still can be macroed only one.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean before the Heichi Ovid?
Yeah, what would you do?
That's exactly what the Gemara is saying. Heichi Ovid though. How do you do it?
The explanation of the Shmuel.
Yeah. Omer Rav Nachman Omer Rav Baravua. Lo Shonu. This that we said that he meant to the middle one. Lo Shonu el da Omar echad mishvara hegdash. If he said one of my oxen are hegdash, Aval Omar shor bishvara hegdash. The ox is hegdash. Hagosh hegdash. He's like saying the shor bishvara, my shor, the best shor. So then there's no shiloh what he meant. He meant the number one, the top dog. Torah b'Torah, Yekomar. He meant the best one. Ini v'Omer Rabbeinu Baruch Hu Mishmei Du'ula. Imel Chaveri Bayis beBeisi. It should be the same exact case. If a person says the house in my house is my house, Ani Morichalach, I'm selling you Marei Aliyah. He shows him the penthouse. In those days, the penthouse is not such a geshmaka place. Is the attic. The attic, which a lot of times it's brought down that it used to, leaking, and there's a lot of issues, and it's still like that, and has a little,
Did it have a heter?
like the penthouse on Zavitan, whatever. It has the or like in my house, the penthouse. It has the.
Does it have a heter?
Right, you have to climb. Right, he's right. That's also brought down. It's more of a tsar. By the way, we're talking about the 4x4, 4 amos before amos. Those houses had. It wasn't like 100-meter house. It was a little made out of mud and a couple of things. So yeah. So what he meant is, my house. My house is the attic. You get the attic. La mishum negriya because he could pick the worst of the worst. Loi me'ula shebebatim. When I said aliyah, I wasn't referring to the word attic. I meant the best. And memelo, I have to give you my best house. So it fits in over here. When I say my ox, I mean my best ox. Meisvei.
Why is it when we say when the architects come and they measure up, they have different sticks that you have to give more? Isn't that a problem of giving more? We said when they measure out, when they're doing work for the base, they always add more. Isn't that the same thing, same problem?
No, this has to do with
What you can't add.
You can add? What do you mean? Over there, you said you have to add a little bit.
Why?
But that measurement was for the people doing the work. They had to give a little extra to the Beis Hamikdash. Over here, we're talking about a person that donates something. What did he donate? What did he mean? Which one of his animals did he mean to donate? He meant the best one. It's a meisvei shor b'shvara hegdish. Again, shor b'shvara l'chari means the biggest one. V'chein shor shel hegdish shenisar b'acher. Now look at these words. V'chein, and also a case shor shel hegdish shenisar b'acher. If a hegdish animal got mixed in with the others, what do? Hagadash behem hegdish. The biggest one, the best one is hegdish. V'kulam yimachru l'tzarkei oilos u'dmeim chulam. So all of them have to be sold for an oila, but the money doesn't have any kedusha to it. Because the only time money has kedusha to it is if you have an oila that has a mum, says Rashi, and then you redeem it, then the money has kedusha. But over here they didn't have kedusha. It was just a suffix, what's kaddish. So I sell all of them for other people that need oilos, and the money though is chulim because only one out of these, that whole group, besides one, and that one, the biggest one, is a oila.
So why with the others do we say that he can't use the money for something else? Why is it a problem to say that he can't bring something else, different money?
Yes, let's see. Tirgamu says the Gemara. So what do you do over here?
What's the question?
It says shor b'shvarai, the biggest one.
It says that we have to sell all of them. We see that we don't stick just with the big one.
Hold on, let's see the teres. This din, the din of kulam yimachu, that's the problem. Why do they all have to be sold? Says Gemara, you don't have to sell all of them. You just the second. There's two cases here. The shar shvarai, the biggest ox, one of my oxen, and then you have a shar of hegdish that got mixed into to them all. This halacha that all of them have to be sold is only referring to that one, the second case, where the shar of hegdish got mixed in, then you have to sell them all. But the case of shar b'shvarai, you don't have to sell all of them, says the Gemara. It says v'chein, that the two cases are exactly the same, and whatever you do in the second case, you have to do in the first case. Says the Gemara, just the one din that he meant the biggest one. V'chein on there's two halachas here, that the big one and selling. So the big one that we refer to it goes to both cases, but the first case only gets the big one. You don't have to sell all the animals. Meisvei bayis beveisi ani moichelach v'nafal. He says, I'm selling you my best house, and then it fell down. Mareu nafal. I show him whatever fell down, any house. So if I have a shvach house, I just show him the shvach house. And one of the slaves died. Let's see. If the best house fell down, then you're right. That's what I meant to sell you, and that's what fell down. But why am I giving you the worst house? Says the Gemara, it's very different. Over here you have a moitz. But in our case, we're talking about hegdish. And hegdish is always right, and you have to prove it. So when you said the best, then you have to assume the best. Hashados is lachi.
We must be talking about a case where he didn't just say, I'm going to sell you the house.
It has to be a star.
It has to be a star, he's written a star.
It's just a bad lawyer.
But it didn't say which house.
He didn't say clearly what
Yeah. Hashados is lachi, says the Gemara. Now we remember the case we had with the aliyah before. And we had to be doichik, we say aliyah doesn't mean an attic, aliyah means the best. Now we could say it means an attic. Avilu deim aliyah degriya. Yavashta adachtoino. He has to prove what he meant.
If you can give me 100 check out, I'm going to have we take credit card? No. More than 100 is more than welcome also, thank you. That's wonderful. I need change. I'm not going to remember.
Whoa.